everyone, my name is Lucia. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today, this is kind of like a throwback, but if you are not familiar with Blue Therapy, then what are you doing on earth? But anyway, there was a show on YouTube called Blue Therapy where couples came. I think you know what it is. Just search Blue Therapy on YouTube and it will come up. Well, there was a couple there, Paul and Chioma, and on a particular, I think it was episode 4, and now we'll watch it again, but he kind of hinted or said that palm oil was unhealthy for Denise's insides. So let's watch that clip real quick.
You're familiar with palm oil, right?
With
palm oil?
Palm oil, yes.
Yeah. Do you eat it at all?
I don't know.
Why?
I've never used it in cooking, so
okay. It's quite bad for you, actually. It's quite bad for your insides. So, but at the same time, if you know, to be fair, if you did use it in cooking in terms of, well, proportionately, if you weigh it, stuff like that, some people don't do that. But if you did, then maybe you'll be able to calculate what you're eating. So in theory, what I'm trying to say is, I don't have an issue with African dishes, but if the calories are not calculated, you're just filling your gut and you don't even know what's going on with your body.
You do have an issue with African dishes because if you're talking about calories, like I said before, he eats ice cream, he eats donuts, he eats donuts, and he also eats takeout, so pizza and etc.
It's calculated.
I don't need to calculate. Did your mum calculate when she was making you African dishes? These foods are not calculated. I calculate with my eyes. So I know how much palm oil I put in there. I know how much oil and ingredients and Maggi I need to put in these dishes. My ancestors never calculated. My mum didn't calculate, nor did my grandma. Nobody that taught me how to make my traditional food it's not calculated.
But is there some way that maybe?
Yes. So that is the actual clip. And I think, growing up, I'm Nigerian, right? And a lot of our staple foods are made with palm oil or groundnut oil or peanut oil, right? But for the most part, it is palm oil, like your egusi soup, your okra soup, sometimes ayamashi. We are surrounded by palm oil, and there's a misconception that palm oil is unhealthy, and that's why I'm here to tell you why people think it's unhealthy and the facts behind it. And I did this research a while ago. I actually released it on my blog earlier, like when I had an actual blog. I still do, but don't check it yet, just hold on. But anyways, and when I watched this episode, I was like, oh my god, this is a perfect way to bring up that topic again, because there is actually a misconception. Now, some people even say that it contains cholesterol. Some people say it raises cholesterol. People say it's just bad, it's too thick, it's too this. Auntie, uncle, I'm here to tell you that it is a misconception. Plus, everything is proportionate, right? If you use, like, let's say 2 full, maybe even 4 tablespoons, because if you're making ofada, you're pouring push, right? Now, when you are going to eat the rice, you're not going to use the whole stew, are you? You're going to take a portion of it. So everything is proportionate. And obviously, if you eat it well, you can get away with eating enough palm oil that is not unhealthy for you. So before I start ranting, let me just go straight to the point. So like I said, I did a lot of research, and from the research or the information I found, it seems like the idea that palm oil is unhealthy came from the fact that it is actually saturated fat. A researcher even claimed that the notion was developed as a way to boost the sale of vegetable oils. And in other words, it was actually a political agenda that was orchestrated almost 40 years ago. And one of the reasons why I actually got interested in this topic is because I have high levels of LDL, low density lipoprotein, that is the bad cholesterol. And it's because it's genetic. My dad has high cholesterol levels, right? Because of this condition, I have cut down on use of oils. At least when I'm in the house and I'm cooking, I know how to reduce it. And over the years, my cholesterol LDL level has actually started to decline. So I think I'm doing a good job. But I still eat palm oil. I use palm oil, maybe a tablespoon or a teaspoon. So we grew up in Nigeria. Most of our staple food is made with palm oil, right? It's almost inevitable. We can't avoid it. So let's start from the top, really. So what is saturated fat. To put it plainly, it is fat that is generally solid at room temperature, and so it's tightly packed. That's why sometimes the palm oil will sleep and you have to wake it up with heat because it just becomes very nice and cakey. Other examples of this would be butter, cheese, and things like that, just to give you a quick visual. Saturated fats are known to increase low density lipoprotein cholesterol and cause heart disease in the long run. And this is because they mostly contain lauric and myristic acids, and these are the culprits for LDL increase. So is palm oil really saturated? It would interest you to know that palm oil is actually 50% saturated and 50% unsaturated. And the study that began the discussion of saturated fats increasing blood cholesterol did not even study palm oils. Yeah, in that experiment, oils they tested were like corn oil, soybeans, coconut, olive oil, peanut oil, right? Those are the ones that you're familiar with. Butter fats, but not palm oil. So other researchers are now taking that, because saturated fats increase LDL and palm oil is considered saturated, that means it increases. So no. That being said, though, the saturated portion of palm oil is made up of 44% palmitic acid, 1% myristic acid, and 5% stearic acid, while the unsaturated fat is made up of 39% monounsaturated oleic acid and 11% polyunsaturated linoleic acid, which can equally be found in the commercial oils that are considered healthier, such as canola, olive oil, sunflower seed oil. So when you think about it, they are pretty the same. Some papers even have different compositions that show lauric acid, but it's obvious that it's so little in there that it's sometimes missed out. However, though, they all agree that palm oil is equally as unsaturated as it is saturated, so you cannot even term it unhealthy. Why can't we just call it unsaturated? We could have just gotten away with calling it unsaturated fat and everybody would have been calm. So is palm oil the same as palm kernel oil? There's a difference. Palm oil is from the skin of the plant and is 50% saturated, while palm kernel oil is from the seed of the plant and that is 80% saturated, just so you know. Now, does palm oil contain cholesterol? No, it doesn't, because it's from a plant. Plant-based oils or plants don't have cholesterol, only animals do. And that's just the simple answer for that. And that is why the culprits that increase LDL are so little in the plants, because it's just not there, right? So if palm oil doesn't have cholesterol, how come it supposedly increases blood cholesterol? So remember that I said it is termed saturated fat, right? And saturated fat contains myristic acid and lauric acid. But remember I also said that the lauric acid and the myristic acid found in palm oil is just 1%. You need more than 1% for it to increase LDL. And other blog posts that I saw that tried to mention the health hazards don't put any links to any scientific papers that back up that claim, or they use the saturated fat content as proof, and we already know that palm oil is half saturated, half unsaturated. Does it cause heart disease? Again, the reason for this notion is because it's considered saturated fat, and saturated fats are notorious for increasing LDL, which in turn increases the risk of heart disease. But like we all know, the part that is supposed to cause this is 1%, and I'm very sure you will get bad cholesterol from eating ice cream, butter, cheese, all those other things. So yeah, don't even worry. No paper has been able to prove or link palm oil to coronary heart disease. Yeah. So is palm oil safe for cooking and frying? Yes, it is. Saturated fat is actually the safest for cooking or frying because it has a high smoke point and can withstand heat and oxidation. Now, the next best group for that would be monounsaturated fats such as peanut oil, canola oil, and olive oil. And the least safest for cooking or frying would be polyunsaturated fats such as corn oil, flaxseed oil, and soybean oil. Now, the rule is that fats with a smoke point higher than 200 degrees Celsius, which is 392 degrees Fahrenheit, are better for deep frying. And palm oil, guess what it has? It has a smoke point of 235 degrees Celsius, which is 455 degrees Fahrenheit. And compare that with unrefined coconut oil that has only 117 degrees Celsius. And yet they are both saturated fats, right? So which one is healthier or safer for cooking? Palm oil, obviously. So yeah, coconut oil will do better for shallow frying, but for deep frying and shallow, palm oil will be the best. However, though, I know growing up, whenever we fry plantain, we will not keep the oil, use it next time, use it again till if I will not add new oil inside it. And no, that's not safe, because the more you use oil and fry, you reduce that smoke point and you increase the free fatty acids. And free fatty acids cause the muscles in the body to start to resist insulin, and that could lead to diabetes and other health conditions. So stop saving oil. Once you use the oil, my dear, you gotta throw it out. All right. And that plantain with used oil was the sweetest too. Very delicious. But at least now you know, right? So what are the benefits of palm oil in summary? Number one, it's cholesterol free, yay, because it's plant-based. And as long as you're healthy and your LDL receptors have not been affected through like genetics like me or dietary means, you can rest assured that the palmitic acid in palm oil, which is the major source of saturation, has been proven to have no adverse effect on cholesterol levels, so you're fine. Also, palm oil contains vitamin E tocotrienol antioxidants that ironically reduce blood cholesterol. So yeah. And also, let's not forget that it has the famous vitamin A and carotene. You know, good for the eyes. Remember your carrots, carrots, yes. And then those days, you don't eat palm oil, that's why your eyes are bad. Yeah, that's what it does. Also, it literally has the same components as your favorite healthy oils, such as olive oil and the rest, only tougher with regards to cooking, which is a good thing. Right? You can still maintain the nutrients. So I could go on and on about the details of palm oil, but I hope this kind of gives you a better understanding. And remember, you know, if you're not, check yourself every year. I check myself. I make sure that my LDL is going down and I'm being better. If you don't know your health status, not just for HIV or STDs and all those other really, you know, obviously significant conditions, for little things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all these little things, you need to know so you can have better control of what you eat. And just as drinking too much water can actually lead to water poisoning and intoxication, if you eat too much oil and too much ice cream and too much rice and too much olive oil itself, it can have adverse effects on your health. So everything in moderation, really. Is not because palm oil is so bad, right? And again, ask your doctor, because they always know best, and don't be afraid to ask questions, okay? So I hope this video helped you understand. Tell me what stood out to you, like, oh, you didn't even realize. I'd really love to know, and share any other health tips that you have, okay? All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers to good health. You guys stay safe out there, stay healthy, and I love you. Thank you so much. Hey, wait, before you end, subscribe. Oh yeah, just click it, please, and thank you. I don't want my ministry to move forward. What's wrong with you? All right, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah.